Here's our first board. We used to have a whole thing there of like modern day lexicon, and now it's line 5 lexicon.
He does have a point when he says that if it's something that you're truly invested in, that you want to look it up.
And Enbridge has a solar panel factory thing in our town.
Oh wow.
Which is also interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. It's so much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was surprising with the survey that only 4 students were able to actually explain what it was.
I had asked people from 15 up to 18. I thought there might be sort of a gender discrepancy because for some reason females seem more sort of invested in issues, but actually more males actually did. And what Autumn found too was the younger demographic actually knew more than the older demographic.
Enbridge, it's like you have had all these spills, more than what you have reported. There's already multiple spills along the line. That's why it's so concerning with Enbridge. It's not only the pipeline, it's the company that's standing alongside there.
Well, my question focused specifically on negativity towards the pipeline with the activism against it. I had to let that come out in a very non-biased way.
Not focusing only on the negative questions. Obviously there's stuff he can tell us, obviously there's not. So it's being able to make sure that he can answer the question truthfully, or not sticking with the negative questions, asking questions that he feels comfortable to ask.
Make sure you ask the question, not you are on one side, but on both sides. Is this true or not?
You're not going to get much if you're being super hostile and, asking questions that you'll have to, reply defensively to. I was wondering how the monitoring on line 5 is different than the monitoring is on line 6B.
And I was wondering what exactly would be put into the pipeline to make it safe.
Well, we researched a little bit about the Kalamazoo spill, and Enbridge apparently came out and said that the reason why they didn't catch the spill is because of a system error with your numbers. And I was wondering, did you guys actually say that, or was that just someone spewing out an answer?
And I was just wondering what kind of steps you would have to take to be able to push oil through that, because in case it breaks or you're forced to shut it down, you'd have to move that oil around. So is there any way that you have plans like that in case it is shut down or it bursts, where to push that oil?
She has this profile, but what does she think about it?
I feel like your second paragraph could be used as an intro instead, and your first paragraph could be moved to when you introduce Anissa and after the quote.
It's just a timeline of what happened on these key dates. In their early planning, they went to go visit with the U.S. Corps of Engineers in Detroit.
talk about this?
I did email him, but he
Okay.
didn't get back to me.
Okay,
yet.
because I know that he said something about them maybe trying to plan like an encampment, but I don't know if he wanted us to put that out there.
Yeah,
'Cause it seemed like it was still a little bit under the radar. You remember a million years ago when we were doing nut grafts and leads? So let's think about how it opens up. Let's think about where the heart of the story is. You identify those two things and places where you feel like it's really strong. Does that make sense?
With mine, I didn't really know how to start it, so I just kind of started. I think for me, I mostly like I have a lot of information, so if people have a better idea of how to like, organize that or make it more clear, like present things better, that would be helpful.
I think this was probably one of the most challenging units for me. I'm not sure I want to become a journalist, but I really liked doing the unit and studying it.
I respect journalists a lot now, like not that I did before.
Well, I hated it, and I didn't really have any respect for journalism, respect or knowledge about it. And when we started this, I was like, hey, this is a lot of work. I have some more respect for you guys, but I still do not like it. I mean, I like it a little more, but I still don't like it.
I thought journalists kind of thought that they were like, one was either way to the one side or they were on the other side of the pendulum, and they just talked bull crap to each other. But I had a lot more respect for them and realized it's not all of them. I still don't have a lot of faith in humanity, but I'm gonna do all I can.
I definitely learned a lot from this, and especially, a lot of good life skills, even if you're not going to be a journalist. I can use, the skills of, asking good questions while interviewing and answer to find the true story inside the story. I think that's pretty relevant with real life things too.
Well, in the beginning, I had no desire or knowledge of journalism. I didn't read or watch the news at all. And so it put me in a new perspective where I actually kind of want to know what's happening. But it was hard for me, I admit. I probably will not be a journalist. It's a little hard, and my stress level just went through the roof. But I had fun.
I think journalism is a worthy vocation for a life, to try to shed light on issues that they're not normally visible to the public, to explain complicated issues. I think one of the challenges of our generation, and even more so for you guys, is how complicated things are. So how do you share that with the public so that the public can make good decisions about leadership, about money, about all kinds of stuff? So I'm in favor of journalism. What is it like as a journalist to teach budding journalists or students in the craft of being a journalist?
Well, I get to share something that I find personally rewarding and also important to our culture, important to our country. And who knows what's going to happen in the future. We're going to need people to keep us informed, keep government honest, and look into corners and shine light into corners where there is no light being shined right now. So it felt pretty great.
All right, I'm going to shut this baby down.
Okay.